Hello, welcome to Tower. I went racing on Friday at South Cams, running my Top Force in the vintage category. All was going quite well for the race meet until partway through the final where I lost drive. And you could see it mostly on the high-speed right-hand corners, just no traction coming out of there. I guess no traction, no drive. It wasn't slipping, but something was slipping. I took it off before the end of the race. I thought I'm definitely damaging something at this point. Yeah, we're going to have a little look now and see what's going on. We know it's something to do with the diff. If I get the car started and run the motor, you'll see that quite obviously. This particular wheel is almost disconnected. And I know that the thought on that is going to be, oh, well, you're running a Top Force, there's no slipper, you must have blown the ball diff. And in all likelihood, that's what I've done. What's interesting is there is like partial drive on the rear right. There is nothing on the rear left. It's like it's completely disconnected entirely. So it might be, maybe we've stripped all the splines on the outdrive. Maybe we've broken something internally to the diff there. But this is now effectively a 2.5 wheel drive. I'll bring the camera over. I can show you what I'm talking about regarding the actual overall movement of the wheels and torque you can feel going through any of the wheels. And then we'll rip it apart and you can see how easy it is to get the diff out on one of these Top Forces and Mantrays for that matter. And we'll pull the diff apart and see what's going on. Apologies for the noise of the fan, but it's all set ready to go. If I give it a tickle on the throttle, you can see front wheel's going, rear wheel going, this wheel not moving at all. Now it's completely free. It's almost disconnected. Everything from the drive shaft through to the diff is running. The drive cup is spinning quite okay. I'll spin it around so we can see that more clearly. You can also see the rear right also doesn't have a whole lot of torque to it. I can hold it quite freely here, and I feel almost nothing with my hand. If I hold a front wheel, I can feel it try and fight and try and get going. So the front diff is functional. The rear diff is connected. We can see we get some drive, but it's like so soft, so gentle, there's almost nothing there. So it's vaguely connected there, completely unconnected on this side. So fortunately I've turned the ESC off again, just to show you the drive cup here. You see that is fully connected. It's not like I'm slipping somewhere here as a pin in the wheel side of things. We're running all the way to the diff, but getting absolutely nothing there in the diff in terms of action or even resistance of any form. Maybe the drive cup's broken. Maybe it's as simple as that. Let's start work. All right, and so forcing myself to work left-handedly, I mostly want to show you how easy it is to get to the diff on these. You've got 4 screws around here, and the diff will just fall out of the back. It is far and away the easiest car to work on. I can't do a screw left-handed. Right, so I've loosened them so I can have a go left-handedly just to show you. So these 4 screws, and there's the diff. And removal of the diff is there. And so that's it. That's the diff out. And now we can find out what's wrong. And I can already see, I believe I can see what's wrong. These here splines are completely disengaged and they're supposed to be engaged. Is it as simple as that? It is. So how did they slip? Huh. How did they slip? There isn't room. I'm going to have to play this video back to see quite how that was sat in there with the splines out. So I've just been having a play and a look back on the video. I know for sure the splines, the main splines there only came out as a result of removing the diff from the housing. So you can replay the video just as I've done. That had only popped out as a result of me pulling it out from the diff in the first place. So that is not the cause. Those splines are not the reason. However, I then put it back in. Well, I tested it here and we can see we've got working diff action. So that seems to be working entirely fine, entirely as expected. I put it back into the car and everything seems to be working correctly. If I put the diff in there, hold the diff as if we've got something out of the motor holding, you can see it working fully. And so the question is, what is it that's given up? And the splines on the drive cup were the best I could come up with. And if I just ease that drive cup out as far as it'll go, I mean, you can hardly see a difference on that, but that's enough, he says, that's enough to get us back in this position of spinning out the diff and the other wheel not moving. And you can see this wheel is completely free. So it is just the couple of mil movement on this drive cup that's causing that trouble. I know it's sounding rough as a diff. It needs rebuild, but that's the reason for losing drive was a mil, 2 mil movement at most on the rear left drive cup, just like that. Right, we're going to check the splines on the drive cup. I do have a gear diff I could switch to, but I don't think it's really necessary. If we look at the drive cup itself, we can see it's worn, but not terribly so. Let's get focus. There you go. So we could put things like O-rings into the end of the cup here just to help encourage it to be further in. The other thing, I guess, is some amount of adhesive on the splines of the cup there might help us stay in place. I checked with whatever the manual says is recommended for it. It's probably the case that is recommended to be glued in. Let's go check that. Yeah, so I did check the instructions. What Tamiya say is on both sides, on the splines of the outdrive, you need to have, they refer to as rubber cement, which is like a shoe glue or a U-glue or something like that, to connect this or the pressure plate on the other side, to connect those to the splines of the outdrives to stop exactly the problem we've just seen. So you can use something like a super glue. The trouble there is it's quite brittle and it's quite likely to fail at some point. Maybe that's what I'd done, a little tiny dab of super glue before now. Now it's U-glued in place and we should be good to go. So we can join that back together, pop that back in, and that is probably the easiest repair I've had, and disappointing that my level of maintenance and checks is such that it ever failed like that in the first place. So there you go. Hope it's been useful to everyone. A short video, and I hope to catch you next time. Thanks for watching.